Hey again, guys. This is MinecraftingDAD, and welcome to episode 6 of our Minecraft FTB Regrowth series. Just today, we upgraded our FTB instance to 0.7.3. This mod pack, Regrowth, is available on the FTB Launcher. Information on how to download the pack will be available in the video description below. This is my Let's Play, and all of these episodes are recorded live on twitch.tv/MinecraftingDAD, and I invite you to come out and stop and join us one of those days. Alright, so in our last episode, we worked on getting the magical crops up and running. You can see we've got a full magical crop field. We've got a full field of the skeleton soul seeds. Well, I'll say full field. It's a half a field, and we got a half a field of nature seeds as well. So one of the things we're going to have to do is we're going to have to knock out a whole bunch of the quests in the very beginning of the book here, and there's tons of them, just tons of little miscellaneous quests that things that we're going to have to complete in order to, kind of get into the middle game of the pack, let's just say. So let's get started. So let's see what is left in what the world came to be. So in this first stage, this wants us to actually create some magical fertilizer. So let's read the description. Grow, damn it! Frustrated by the ineffectiveness of bone meal on the various essence crops, you've devised a more palatable variant of it, which should accelerate the growth. It wants us to create some magical fertilizers. So let's get in here and let's just take a look at the recipe for the magical fertilizer. Oops. It's a F-E-R-T, magical fertilizer. It wants us to combine some bone meal, some floral fertilizer, mutandis, and 2 nature essence, and it'll give us 3 magical fertilizer. I've already gathered up these ingredients over here in our, I'm just going to call this our magical crop chest. So let's take these items and combine them over here in our crafting table, and we should have some nature's essence there. Uno, dos. And that gives us 3 magical fertilizer, and with that is going to allow us to complete this quest, which then now have to choose. Do we want to take bone meal, floral fertilizer, or mutandis? It's not a huge choice, whatever you prefer, because all these things you can make. Bone meal, well, we can get that right there. The floral fertilizer, I've got almost 3 stacks of it. And then the mutandis seems to be the most logical choice for this quest. So let's just do that. And we'll throw the magical fertilizer in there. We'll throw the mutandis in here temporarily. And let's go and see, did we open up any other quest? No. Now that book is 88% complete. There is 2 other hidden quests that will allow us to get 100%. But we'll deal with those quests at a later time. So there is some different things we can get into. First of which is stuff under what the world is made of. It's section number 2. There is the copper quest. This is something that could be completed every, I think it's every 3 days. And we don't have these items quite yet. We can turn it. Actually, we don't have enough clay. I do know we do have enough floral powder for the orange, but and the weak essence, we do have those as well. But what we don't have is enough clay. I have just enough clay in order to complete another quest. There may be a quest that may be able to help us out here. So let's take a look. We're going to table that for right now. Let's look at the ender seed. So the ender seed is something we're going to have to create on the Runic altar. And in order to be able to get the ender seed, we are going to need some ender pearls. So let's go and take a look at our stock of ender pearls. And it looks like we've got 2 regular ender pearls and 1 mana pearl. So we're going to have to keep an eye out for an enderman. So if we happen to see one floating around at nighttime, we're going to have to, do our thing and take care of business. Other than that, I think we're going to have to wait on the ender seed for now. The dye seed, though, this one we should be able to complete. It does have a fairly complicated recipe, but let's take a look at what it requires. You can see here on the Runic altar, this wants us to combine a essence seed and black, red, green, brown, blue, light gray, yellow, white, and 2 weak essences to create a dye seed. The cool thing about these dye seeds or the dye essences is this will basically allow you to make with 3 essences in a row almost any item, you know, ink sacs or rose red, purple dye or cyan. I mean, you name the color and the dye that you want to make, these guys will allow you to make it with relative ease. And then it's also used to make the regular infusion stone at a later time as well. So it is important that we complete this quest. So let's get this knocked out of the way. So I did gather all of those ingredients. As you can see right here, we've got all the different flowers that we're going to use. In order to make this into the proper floral dust, I guess you want to call it, we're going to need to use our crafting table. And let's start breaking this down. So we need this thing here. It's called the pestle and mortar. And then let's basically, well, before we do that, we need to turn these into petals. So let's do that. Black, red, green, brown. I just wanted to move these over here so it was a little easier for us to track, you know, which ones we did and which ones we still needed to do. So okay, now take the pestle and mortar and you combine the petals, and this will give you the black powder, which is here. I think I need 2 more of those. Red, the green. We're going to get more than we need, but that's okay. Maybe we'll make 2 or something, I don't know. We need to combine the gray, the yellow, and the bone meal, and the essence seed, and these 2 weak essences. So let's just move some of our other stuff into this chest for now. So we'll just kind of clear up our inventory just for a little bit of time here, just so we can get all these guys in here. So we got the black, and the red, the green, the brown, the blue, gray. We don't need the sticks right this minute. The yellow, the bone meal, essence seed, and 2 weak essences. Alright, so we're good to go. Now we need to actually combine these onto the runic altar. We're going to need our wand. Let's get the melon seed out of here. Let's grab our wand. And let's we're going to have to move the focus of these guys. So you can see with the wand in our hand, all the magical power from the mana is going into the mana pool. We need to redirect it to go to the runic altar. So hold shift, right click the mana spreader, and then click on the runic altar. Same thing here with the hydrangeas. Right click the mana spreader and click the runic altar, and there you can see now we are basically putting everything onto the runic altar. And at this point we need to move all of this down into our active inventory so we can start throwing these items onto the runic altar. So this is like a really huge recipe to be basically using as our very first runic altar recipe, but hey man, this is how we do things. We'll get it moving. We'll do it right. Alright, so all you do basically just press Q and throw it on top of there, and you'll see they kind of float around on top, which is kind of cool. There you go. Throw this one on top. A bone meal, 1 essence seed, and then the 2 weak essences. Oh, get on there. Boom. Alright, so there we go. There's all the ingredients we need in order to complete this recipe. Well, in order to seal the deal and know that you got it right, you need to do is put the wand, and you right click on the table, and what you'll see is, you can see it there on the screen, it gives you a little bar that shows you the progress to complete it. Well, we're going to need 1 more ingredient in order to make this happen. We need 1 piece of living wood, or living stone, and it looks like we don't have any available unless we moved them inside the house. Let's just double check here. Oh look, we do have 1 piece of living rock, which we are going to need to complete this particular quest. So Alright, while this is completing the finish of this, let's go find our next quest that we can complete. In the meantime, we will drop the rest of these guys into this chest because we're not going to need them. Alright, let's grab our quest book and see if there's anything else that we can complete in the meantime. Let's go down to number 3, and in this I think there's going to be some other things we complete, which is going to be the Clayconia. So this is another Botania flower that's going to be very helpful. This wants us to gather 12 clay and 10 mystical light flowers. I think we do have mystical light flowers. Oh, we have some right here. And 12 clay. So let's go in our book and let's submit both of those. And now we should be able to receive the Clayconia. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this has to be planted either on dirt. I don't know if I have any dirt over here. Actually, it should be planted on dirt. It's a flower, so let's go grab some dirt to plant this on. And you'll see that this flower just needs to be within range of the mana pool. So let's see, where do we want to put this guy? Here, maybe we'll stick it just right here, I guess. The Clayconia, as you can see, by itself doesn't look like it does very much. But if we were to grab some sand, let's just grab a few pieces of sand in here. This is where the magic happens. All you do is place the sand down next to the tree, and as you can see, it turns sand into clay, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we got that, and now that gave us 14 clay. So that's going to come in handy as we go and look at some of the other quests that we need to complete. If I'm not mistaken, there was one under item 2, which was the copper seed. It wanted us to grab 16 clay and then the floral powder in order to get the copper seed. So we could technically do that, but let's see, how is this thing making out? It's about 75% done. Alright, so let's grab a couple more pieces of sand. I mean, hey, why not, right? We got the opportunity. Let's complete that quest as well. So we got boom, boom. Look at that, perfect. And now it also wants us to get 16 floral orange. So that's going to be 8 of these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, let's go grab our pestle immortal, which is over here, mortar. Here, turn in the flowers, bam, and drop that in there. There you go. Okay, and now if we go into our quest book, it wants us to submit 4 weak essence. Sure. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Done. Quest book, manual submit. Claim our first piece of essence of copper. Technically speaking, we've just now moved into the Metal Age. Although it's a very small piece of metal, just 1/9, 1/8 of the of a piece. But let's put this over here, and we'll find a free chest to put it in. I did find some iron and some emerald out while exploring, but this is the first piece we actually created on our own. So the cool thing with that is now we're going to see some other quests that we may not have had the advantage of completing earlier. One of them is for creating a essence of iron. It wants us to have red sand, some floral gray powder, and weak essence to create 1 essence of iron. We can technically create or complete this one as well. So let's grab 16 pieces of red sand. There's 12. There's 16. We need some floral gray powder, and we need to do the same exact thing. Oh, look, this guy's ready now. Alright, you'll know it's ready, well, because it shoots a lightning bolt down. And you can click on this all you want. It's not going to do anything until you throw the piece of living rock on there. Throw the living rock, well, you actually have to throw it on top, like so, and then swing the wand, Oh yeah, there we go. And with that, it kind of just chucks the seed at you or on the ground. Now we have the dye seed. Cool. So let's just go and find a place to plant this. I guess it's going to be our best thing right this minute. So we'll go over here and we will plant our dye seed. And what does this want to go on? Is this considered a magical crop? Well, if it's a magical crop, it's not going to want to use this stuff. It wants the good stuff. It wants some garden soil. Well then, I do have some garden soil over here, so I guess let's just plant it over here. Here, we'll go like that. We'll plant the dye seed there for now. Nice. All right, so that gives us that. Nice. Now we want to continue working on this other quest here. So we get 16 red sand and the 16 floral gray. Let's see how many gray flowers we have. Light gray and regular gray. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I think there's another quest here. Let's check our quest book. The carbon, which is going to help us to make coal, wants us to have 16 pieces of charcoal and the floral black. So let's look at our black here and grab 8 of those as well. We'll kind of do both at the same time. Now, this wants us to have some charcoal. I'm not sure how much I have, but let's check down in our stuff here. Oh, we do have this, so we can do 16 pieces of charcoal, just like that. And yeah, so we should be good on this one. And we do have plenty of weak essence that we've gathered up, which should be in here. So let's grab the weak essence, and then we can start doing the combining of these guys after we make them into petals. So there's our black petals, there's our gray petals. Let's make these into the dust, or the powder. And you can see, because of the quantity we use just for one little itty bit of making the metal powder, we need a ton of this, petals. So, being that that's the case, we're going to want to, kind of have the ability to plant more of the floral black powder, or be able to get our hands on that. So there's some things we could do in the future that are going to help us to get some of the black powder ASAP. And what the goal is we're actually trying to work towards getting a copper seed, a iron seed, a coal seed. That's the things that we're working towards. So let's turn in these quests. So we have the iron quest, which we should have the sand, and the gray powder and the weak essence. This will give us 1 essence of iron. It's a beautiful thing. And the carbon, we should have those items, which gives us the essence of coal. And as you can see, we've now opened a third, or an additional quest, which is wanting us to make tin, which wants us to gather some slate, some light gray, and the same thing. So we could do this real quick. We do have plenty of flint, which can be recombined to make slate. So we'll just grab that, and there we go. How many pieces did it want? I think it wanted 16. Alright. So we got that. Then we need some light gray. So we have only 5 light gray. We do have this guy, and we do have this guy. Let's see. We'll go over here and see if we can try to make ourselves some light gray. We just need to get 3 more light gray flowers. So you can see this is a gray. We don't have any room in inventory. Let's just temporarily use this chest right here to store everything in our inventory. And then we'll try to gather up some of these flowers. We can use our horn, which we just did have. Let's go grab it. Where's our horn? This is the fun part. I love this horn. Let's try not to go swimming. Check this out. Ready? This is the fun part. Nice. You gotta love this horn just for breaking flowers alone, right? So boom, 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 boom. Nice. Grab this. There we go. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so we need 3 more light gray. So let's take a look and see. We've got gray. We've got light gray. All right, we did get what we need here. So moving on to the next part. So let's move our light gray into our inventory. Let's go put these guys away. There we go. Put that in there too. Sure, why not? Get all this out of our inventory, and I like to have these like transfer chests that you can see like this here. I mean, I could literally transfer everything out of my inventory and put them back pretty easily. So alright, so let's go and then go in here, grab our rest of our light flowers that we needed. Gray. There we go. There's our gray flowers. We have our slate, and we have our weak essence. We have our bowl. Okay, we could pretty much do everything here. We don't have to go anywhere. So let's grab these, grab our bowl, boom, boom, boom. Oh, good. Grab our quest here and submit this. Now we're going to have the essence of tin. Alright, so for right now, we don't have the ability to do anything with these essences other than just store them in this chest for now. So we'll put those in here and we'll come back and get them. Okay, so I have to distinguish a little bit of a difference between these particular quests and some of the normal quests. Like, for example, if you just look at a normal quest like this guy, grass, there's nothing else you can do with it. Well, when you have these quests, these are completable, they're repeatable quests. With a repeatable quest, this actually allows you to come back in every 3 days in game time, which is every day is 20 minutes. So every once an hour, you're able to craft one of these essences. So let's look at what is the goal of this. I mean, what is the purpose of making all these little essences? Well, we want to be able to unlock actual metal seeds. If you go anywhere out in the world, you will not find a single ore. Every ore has to be grown. So you need to unlock the copper seed. So let's take a look at the recipe for copper seed. You'll see we need to have 4 of these essence of copper and 1 essence seed and 4 of the weak essences. So we have to do that quest 4 times over in order to get enough essence of copper in order to make 1 copper seed. Once you have the copper seed, you no longer have to do this anymore. Same thing will go with the iron seed, for example. So let's just take and quickly look up iron seed. And this is going to require the same type of thing. This is going to require 3 essence of iron, 1 essence seed, 1 essence of copper, and 4. Just so happens that I happen to have 3 essence of iron and 1 copper seed to be able to complete this quest. So let's look at the items in which it's asking us to use. It wants us to basically create 1 iron seed. We also need to have 1 essence seed, which we do need to grab from over here. Actually, I think I have one still in our chest. Yeah, we do have 1 more essence seed. So technically, we are able to start this recipe. So we might as well get this recipe started while we can. And this will actually jump us into iron. We will have iron seeds. Alright, so that's good to go. And we've now locked in iron. This one does take a fair bit of the magical mana. So this is going to take a little bit. In the meantime, there is some things we need to have, which includes some of the living rock. So let's grab and create some of that. We do have the white lilies over here, so we can use these to make some more living rock, and that'll convert, and we'll do some other things while we're waiting for that to complete. Alright, so we've did a lot of stuff in here. The next thing we want to do is let's go down to item number 3 here. This we completed the Clayconia. What about number 4? This wants us to craft our cartography basic, which wants us to make an empty map, a compass, and an oak frame. So let's look at making these items. In order to make an empty map, let's look at that recipe. For example, empty map is a combination of a black dye and some paper. So I do have, or a black powder, to make one empty map. Okay, so we made the empty map. Then it also wants us to make a compass. A compass is actually rather simple. Don't know if I have any sticks on me. Let's grab some over here. Compass is basically a piece of flint and some sticks. Did I get it wrong? Maybe I did. Let's see. Compass. I got the recipe in my head, and I know I'm pretty close. But alright, this one's flint tool rod. Alright, well that's simple enough. We need to have our tinkers. So we want this, we don't even have a tool rod yet, huh? So let's make a tool rod pattern. Get this over into our pattern here. And we can use flint, 1, 2. And now we have 2 flint tool rods. Let's take a look at this recipe again. Regular sticks, flint. Alright, so we're good to go. So there we go. And flint. There goes our compass. Last but not least, we need to create the oak map frame. So let's take a look at the recipe for that. Oak map frame is 1/2 slab and a whole bunch of sticks. So this one should be relatively simple. I don't have any half slabs on me. I may have some over here in this other chest. Let's go take a look. And yes, we do have our half slabs, and we do have some sticks. So there we go. There goes our map frame. So let's look at that, and we now get 4 more empty maps in a book. Alright, as we do with all the other books, we're going to stick it on the shelf. We're going to come back and we're going to table this this particular, well, it's basically going to explain to us, well, let's put it in here for now. This is a spare empty book, but there should be some things that we can do with this cartography. Let me show you what I mean by that. There's this here, what the world at your fingertips. It wants us to create an atlas. We'll do this shortly. Let's take a look at the recipe for the atlas. What this does is it allows you to make maps. So the atlas is going to combine our drafting compass, a slotted book. What is a slotted book? Oh, so it's an oak wood label and a regular book. Let's look at how do we make an oak wood label. So oak wood label is just some slabs. Oh, that's simple enough. So let's go in here and grab some slabs. Let's create ourselves an oak wood label. And our book, which we have. And that makes a slotted book. Kind of cool. And from there, now we're going to create our atlas. So let's take a look at that recipe again and see what it wants us to do. So it wants us to use a drafting compass, an atlas, an empty map, a whole bunch of plain pieces of paper. So we should be able to do this fairly quickly. Boom. Put our paper on the sides. And 1 empty map. Now we have our atlas book. So if we open this up, you'll see this is the way you can create maps. So let's just load up some empty maps in here. And we could say auto create, auto center. So basically, as you walk around, you can see this is going to create a overview map. Looks just like a vanilla map, but this will literally create a map overview of your base, and you can use this. You could set waypoints. It's got a whole bunch of different features in it. But for right now, we're gonna table this and we're gonna set it aside, and we'll come back to that in a later episode. So it is pretty cool though, and this gives us some rewards, some more paper and stuff like that. So we'll just stick those in here for now with our blank stuff and our wood. our chests. Alright, cool. So let's get out of this one and let's move on to the next one, which is what the world enables. We did that. What else do we have? What the world teaches. We just did that. What the world embraces. Alright, cool. So this looks like it's got a whole bunch of quests in it, but I think what we're going to do is we're going to stop for this particular episode. So what is our plan? Well, you're going to have to wait until the very next episode. I tried to fit as many of the beginning quests into this episode as possible. We're going to finish up with the remainder of these quests that you see on the screen in our very next episode, and then after that we're going to focus on getting some of the crop quests out of the way, which this is a lot of different stuff that we like to cover, so that's what's coming up next. So that, like I said, thank you for checking out the episode. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below, and you can also watch my live streams on twitch.tv/MinecraftingDAD. Thanks, and see you next time, guys.